Alright guys, full-time executive gaming back, and I'm going to teach you three more build hacks, and of course the extra one in the ender chest, you're going to have to wait till the end of the video, so you're going to have to wait till the end of the video to find out which build hack is in the ender chest. But anyway, let's get started. So the first build hack is going to be about how snowballs, arrows, a fishing rod, and eggs can basically go through fire, and if you put it on netherrack, which is going to make sure that the fire doesn't go out, if you put it on netherrack and then you throw any one of those through the fire and there's a mob on the other side, you can actually catch that mob on fire. The second one is how if you basically uses flint and steel, put fire on top of the TNT, it will basically delay the time that the TNT explodes, because it takes a while for it to catch on fire. And then the third one is going to be about how mob heads on note blocks basically can change the sound of a note block to be of that mob. And the fourth one, of course, I can't tell you yet. You have to wait till the end of the video. You have to wait till the end of the video for that one. So the first one is going to be how snowballs, arrows, and fishing rods, when you put them through fire, they can catch a mob on fire on the other side. So guys, the first one is going to be about how you can throw certain items through fire to basically light other mobs on fire when you throw it through the fire. On the other side, basically. So let me show you that. So basically, you can take, a bow and arrow, a fishing rod, snowballs, or even eggs, and it will work. So let me show you. I've set this up already. So basically, you need to trap a zombie or, any mob. I personally want a zombie because, I don't know, I just picked a zombie. But you can put any, mob in there. Of course, wither skeletons and any mob from the nether basically can't catch on fire. So remember, the mobs in the nether can't catch on fire, but any other mob you can try this on. Of course, it could be any height because, you could go, if it's smaller, you could just mine down one and, you put your fire, basically you move your fire down one, basically. If it were from a mob that was 2 blocks tall. But anyways, basically, you can use a bow and arrow, a fishing rod, a snowball, or an egg. And just so you know, if this snowballs and eggs, this could be the only real way that they're used effectively, because normally when you throw an egg or snowball at anything, it does 0 damage. It is the only projectile that you can throw, and it doesn't do any damage. Both of them, well, technically there's not one, there's 2, but both of them, are the only, they're the only projectiles in the game that don't do any damage. But when you throw them through fire, then the thing is, then they do the fire damage. And imagine if you throw a lot of them at a mob or anything, and basically it catches them on fire for a long time. That's going to do a lot of damage over time. So let me show you. So you throw an egg through fire, and I used netherrack for the block that I put the fire on, because if you put fire on any other block, it's basically going to go out. If you put it eventually, but if you put it on netherrack, it's not going to go out ever unless you put it out. And the blocks around the mob, of course, could be anything. I just used netherrack because that's why I put my fire on, and I was way too lazy to get another block. I was way too lazy to get another block, to put around the mob. So, I just used the netherrack I had. Anyways, just quickly block it up, quickly place it, and then there we go. There we go. So anyways, the next method you could use, I used an egg, but you can also use a snowball, just in the same way. See, it's on fire right now, as you can see. Because you saw it turned orange, so obviously it was on fire, and you could hear it taking damage. But anyways, the next way is by basically shooting it with an arrow. So if you shoot it with an arrow, again, it will catch it on fire. So all of the, and also, the last thing, is if you use a fishing rod and you manage to aim it properly. Can I aim anything? Oh, okay. Nope, apparently I can't aim anything properly. But if you aim it properly... Oh my... Come on, man. Oh my gosh. I swear I know how to use a fishing rod. Oh, there we go. Basically, of course, if you obviously it turned orange, it was caught on fire. But if you don't know how a fishing rod works, if you caught it, not only would you set it on fire, but if you basically reeled it back, you could basically launch that mob into the air and make it take fall damage. So you could make it take double the damage. I think the fishing rod, in fact, if you threw it through the fire, it would actually do like double the damage. Like you know, the snowball and the egg and the bow may do some damage. I mean, obviously, the bow has some initial damage with the arrow, but I think the fishing rod, you get a lot more damage from fall damage than shooting something with an arrow. Me personally, I think that because you could be really high and get something, and you could basically launch it 20 blocks in the air. Something that kind of damage can't be done with bow and arrow. So that's why I think especially in PvP, where people have a lot of health because they have a lot of armor and enchantments. Something like a bow's just not gonna, a bow, shooting it through fire is just not gonna cut it. And you can even enchant a bow with, flame, and basically it's gonna automatically shoot arrows that basically deal fire damage, and you don't need to shoot it through fire. But that doesn't do too much damage. But if you in PvP, if you get someone with a fishing rod and launch them, a really high height and do fire damage, that could be lethal to someone in really good armor. Anyways, the next thing we have is just a simple timed TNT. Now, basically, of course, I need to get rid of this stuff because this is the stuff I have. I don't know. Oh my gosh, why do I have? Some of those blocks, I don't even know what I have. Let's just move on, right? Let's move on. But anyways, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to place the TNT down, you're going to sneak, and you're going to light the top of it. And then, after only 4 seconds, it should ignite. And there you go. You got an extra 4 seconds of basically time to run away and basically set someone up to get exploded. I was saying because the rain just started, and now it kind of put out the fire on the TNT, but the TNT was already ignited. So luckily, I was like, is my demonstration gonna work or not? Luckily, it did. Anyways, well, it didn't work the first time, but hey, we don't talk about that. Anyways, the last one before I show you the ender chest one, which is you gotta stay tuned to the end of this video for. Basically, I'm gonna show you about all the mob heads and the note block. So basically, what you're gonna do is there is 6 possible mob heads, and there is technically in creative mode there is technically a Steve head, but the thing is you can only get that in creative, and it doesn't even do anything. It doesn't make a sound, doesn't sound like anything, so it doesn't even work. 1, it doesn't work, and 2, you have to get into creative, and I'm all about survival, so it definitely doesn't fall in the category of my videos. So anyway, you're gonna put 6 note blocks down. I'm going to do that because I need to place down every mob head, but you can place down as many as you want or as little as you want. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like how the notes are playing while I'm trying to count out all the blocks. It's very interesting because I forgot that when you hold all note blocks, they play the note. Yeah, I should know that by now. I'm a pro. Come on, man. I need to know that. Anyways, I'm gonna place all the mob heads down and basically show you that if you tap on the note block, it actually sounds like the mob. Skeleton, wither skeleton, zombie, creeper, Oh, that was a little low. I need to turn my volume up. Creeper. Piglin. Ender Dragon. Now, the thing is, guys, I'm trying to get you guys engaged in my videos, and I've really been studying every aspect about my videos. So basically what I'm going to ask you guys, because I want you to get engaged and I want to build a community around my videos, guys, comment down below which one of the mob heads was your favorite sound, basically. Was the skeleton, the wither skeleton, the zombie, the creeper, the piglin, or the ender dragon? Comment down below, because I want to build a community around these videos. I'm kind of adding to my approach on my videos, so this is part of it. Just trying to build a community, so if you could comment down below, that would be awesome. Anyways, this is what you've been waiting for this entire video, is what's in the ender chest. Now, here we go. Basically, you have 74 obsidian, and this is basically for a volcano. If you want to build a working volcano, here's how to do it. Basically, you're going to need 74 of obsidian. Now, I personally want obsidian because it looks like, usually, obsidian, obviously, a volcano is made out of obsidian, obviously, other igneous rocks, but I don't, just to make it simple for me, I'm going to demonstrate with obsidian. You guys could do anything that represents any type of igneous rock, but I'm going for obsidian, and then, basically, for the inside of the obsidian, basically, for the blocks underneath it, so I can place more obsidian, I'm going to get some extra blocks that you don't really see because they're underneath the obsidian, but basically help you have a block to place the obsidian on. So I'm going to do dirt, for example. You can do any easy to get block that you don't have to spend too much time getting. A button, a lava bucket, and a dispenser. And I need to get rid of every other mob head and note block that I have in my inventory, because that's crowding my inventory and I don't need these anymore. So just get rid of them. Anyways, basically what I'm going to do is okay, big disclaimer. Do not build this anywhere near anything that's going to get burned. Obviously, I'm going to turning off fire tick, so basically that's in the settings. But if you have fire tick on your world, build this in somewhere, anywhere where it's not going to burn anything, like anything important. I don't want to have to say this, but especially your base. Do not build this near your base. For God's sake, do not build this near your base. That's going to ruin everything. Yeah, most likely because you're going to have a door, and that's made out of wood. But, that's something that we don't want to talk about. Anyways, basically, what you're gonna do, probably, in a plains biome where there's nothing really, you want to build this probably in a plains biome. But anyways, $50 obsidian and 23 dirt, because you're going to need this extra piece of dirt, basically, to place. So basically, guys, it only flows on 3 sides, and I just think that's just the way the lava wants to flow, because sometimes water and lava can be weird and not flow in one direction just because of the position it's placed, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just really technical game mechanics where for some reason water and lava sometimes flow in a certain direction and not in another direction. So just to basically, it's okay. It's basically it it even makes it look more realistic because a lot of times lava on volcanoes don't flow on all sides of the volcano, it's only a few sides of it. So basically, it makes it even look more realistic, more imperfect. And I think that's what's even the best thing about this build. And of course, you can click the button again, and the lava basically slowly goes down. Alright guys, like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends, and until next time, goodbye.